We got some sad news to report, and that is former LSU wide receiver Kyron Lacy has unfortunately been pronounced deceased at the young age of 24. Now, Kyron Lacy, who played the last 3 years at LSU, was projected a top sixth wide receiver pick according to Mel's Kiper draft board. However, Cameron Lacey has been was supposed to face a grand jury for a traffic accident causing a death last December. I'm going to read a little bit of this article from ESPN.com. Lacey was accused of causing a crash that killed a 78-year-old man on December 17th and then fleeing the scene without rendering aid or calling authorities. On January 12th, he turned himself in to authorities, was jailed and released on a $151,000 bail, according to police records. And the county that was in, records indicate that Lacey was charged with negligent homicide, felony hit and run with death and reckless operation of a vehicle. Also, according to the news release from Louisiana State Police, Lacey was allegedly driving a 2023 Dodge Charger on Louisiana Highway 20 and recklessly passed multiple vehicles at a high rate of speed, crossing the center line and entering the northbound lane while in a designated no passing zone. As Lacey was illegally passing other vehicles, the driver of the northbound pickup truck abruptly braked and swerved onto the right to avoid a head-on collision with the approaching Dodge. The Louisiana State Police news release said. Police alleged that Lacey, 24, drove around the crash scene and fled without stopping to render aid, call emergency vehicles, or report his involvement in the crash. Herman Hall of Thibodaux, Louisiana, who was passenger in the Kia Sorento, later passed away from injuries suffered in the crash, according to state police. Lacey's agent said in a statement that his client was fully cooperating with authorities. Lacey declared for the NFL draft on December 19th, 2 days after the crash, and did not play in LSU's win over Baylor in the Texas Bowl. He did participate in LSU's pro day, and but he wasn't on Mel Kiper's draft board as of recently, because we know what the NFL does. They're probably not going to draft you if they don't know if you're going to be charged or not. Now, we all make mistakes. We don't actually know if he's innocent or guilty. He was supposed to be facing a grand jury to see whether or not the charges could fully be indicted, from what I was hearing. And it's unfortunate. I'm sure the young man, some people are saying that it's due to him unaliving himself, but I could just imagine, he's young, you're only 24, you're guaranteed to be an NFL pick, but then something like this happens, and whether or not, even if he was innocent, he was gonna probably not get drafted, and possibly not signed to a team. I forget the young brother's name. He played at Baylor. Was it Sean Alexander? I believe that's his name. Defensive end, 6'7". He was going to be a NFL pick. He gets these allegations of him SAing somebody, and he ends up beating those allegations, but he never played in the NFL. His career was never the same, and that was probably going to happen to Lacey. And Lacey probably just sitting back thinking that his whole life is coming to an end, when really you still got your whole life ahead of you, even if it's not with football. The guy, the Henry Ruggs was driving in just 100 something miles an hour, ended up unfortunately taking somebody's life in a car crash. I think they gave him 7 years at least in prison, and while his NFL career is over, you still got the whole life ahead of you as far as making redemptions and stuff if you were found guilty. And I just wish that he had some type of counseling around him, some type of OGs around him to kind of tell him that it's not over, and at the end of the day, it's just football. And another thing I want to say is we got to be careful on how we're driving. You're young. These young kids got these Dodge Chargers and Challengers, and when you young like that, I was young once too. You young, the thing it can probably go up to at least 120, 130 miles an hour. Some of them probably got Hemis in the engines. And when you're young, you got a whole bunch of money in your pocket, driving fast, expensive cars. Accidents like this can easily happen. But I'm like I said, I don't know if he's guilty or not. I was listening to this one reporter saying that there could have been evidence that could have potentially helped him, but it's just unfortunate for the person that passed away in the accident, and it's also unfortunate for Cameron Lacey. Like I said, he's just a young man, only 24 years old, and we all got to be careful, because one decision can really affect all of us. Sometimes a 10-minute decision with anything, especially like when you're speeding or driving drunk or any of those things, You make one mistake, and that could cost not just you, but multiple people around you. But I just want to get my quick thoughts about it, man. Rest in peace, Kyron Lacy. Let me know what y'all think.